So just want to give a quick update on what's really happened between after really making out the design and process and layout. So we just have really made a like about and home page and about page of Facemash itself, and obviously we will see the what's really fast paced in the process of making the time lapse itself. So actually what happened itself, like the video is really gonna watch, actually you are seeing in a compressed manner is actually that was actually around 6 hours longer, I guess. But I really forgot to just record the later half again, then which I really took again 5 hours more than. So I think the total video was length around much more, I think 11 hours and something like that, to make just this two page. Now just making this two page shouldn't really take 11 hours, right? Considering 2 days or 2 or 3 days it really took for me to make it. So what actually happened? So we'll just discuss about this time after this time lapse. So let's enjoy it. So if you have really watched this time lapse, if you have really liked it, consider subscribing this channel. So right now we will just kind of really discuss why it took for me so long time to really just kind of designing two page, and just 11 hours. It really looks like ridiculous. Like in 11 hours you can really complete any Udemy course, any whatever what you think. Like, so what actually really happened with for me was to really kind of make that design so responsive that that is really fitted to everything else, for the mobile, for the tablet, and obviously for the desktop itself. So previously I have never worked with media queries and to make the responsive design. If you really take the considering existing landing page of what I have designed on the college facemash.com, you can really look on the vertical side. It really looks sleek and fabulous itself. But when you just really turn it into horizontal, everything looks like squashed itself. Why it happens? Because we have really used VH itself and not optimized it with using the media queries itself. So the first for 3 or 4 hours I really spent on to just kind of making an home page itself about for the college face match itself. You can just go and try it, check it out. Link is always in the description. You can, and just let me know how what's your thought on it, and what changes I could really elaborate to make it much more better itself. So coming down to the point, so making the home page was comparatively much more easier than was about to make something just in about page section, all that kind of thing. uh, the problem was like simple. In the home page I really just elaborated in the media query itself. Everything was just only static images, so that kind of really took me that was really less pain itself, in my opinion. And coming down to the about page, when you really just look the first section, the total in about the page is divided into three sections. The first section is of really static images, which is really embedded in CSS using the property called background image on URL itself. And the second one is really like a video itself, and this third one is also a video which continuously slides or animates itself continuously itself, or it just loops continuously like that. So what I actually really thought, but actually the correct, instead of using the video in about section, the correct way is actually just to go with image slider or probably something like that, or in library, whatever you want. But I was kind of really like being lazy. I don't want to take much more trouble uh, to really just kind of get through it and make it happen in that own way. So I thought, why won't else we just put that video in the DaVinci Resolve, which is my primarily video editing software, and which is something this video is rendered from itself. And so yeah, so I really thought that I will just mix match all that clips and all that images and make a bunch of like 6 second video, and the third section video is like about 15 seconds itself. So it was a decent for me to consider and that kind of thing. The major problem was in about section was like for me to yeah. So the major problem was for me to really kind of adjust media queries, and I have really used a lot of media queries itself to really optimize itself at a various level. The first media query I have used it as 1400 pixels. The second media query is at 1024 pixels. The third media query is at I think 768 pixels, probably 8. So and the third and the fourth media query is at below less than 400 or 500. So also we have really need to optimize it for the horizontal alignment. So for that, even I have also used the media query for the maximum height below 450 as well. You can check this out, the screenshot which I have really just mentioned right now in front of you. And so yeah, I really don't know whether using too much media queries is really that helpful for not. But in this case, which in about section, because the second and third section was not really static and it was really constantly moving, so I really need to figure out what's the best way and what's the best positioning of that system. And I was really constantly like translating that slide, like translating minus I think somewhat around minus 100 VH minus 100 something, any percent, sorry, viewport, I think, yeah, viewport width. And I was trying to really adjust something else, but I was not getting a correct fix. So finally, after really spending something 3 or 4 hours in just trying to adjust it, something just clicked in my mind, like zoom. Man, I was really looking like why that zoom property didn't came in my mind again. So I just really type out, I have never really worked with zoom property itself. So I just really research it, and yeah, it really exists. So I just tried out zoom is equal to 1, which is the default really purpose. What was actually happening in this in normal zoom, really, like, some pictures were really getting in center, some were getting in outside of the frame, some were really like, like crazy stuff. But when I really used the property of zoom, which was around set 2.5, everything magically appears so beautiful, so neat thing that I really don't need to adjust it for the various frame size, and it really worked so well for me. And the reason, and also I really want to talk about something which about login page. Like, you might see that the login page is still blank on the website itself. Why is that so? Because the form which I have really gonna design according to the design itself, is really complex itself. So the various we really need to do with the Google Map APIs itself. Then again, we really need to multi-step UI form, and there is already a bunch of other cool stuff. So I thought that it would be better to make other time lapse video or other boarding video of that even also. So just to kind of making sure that everything remains much more consistent and much more fluid in my journey itself, and I can really showcase like which is more critical and which is more certain else. So uh, yeah, that was really I was wanted to tell. So was that any something which I really want to share is like, yeah, is the video time can be reduced? Definitely, it could be have been reduced if I have really been certain specific skills, or specific time procedure itself. Like, first to design with the first thing and all that kind of thing. So first to design with the desktop layout, then need to convert into tablet. But what my approach was really like, first to design with first one paragraph only, then to really optimize it for tablet, then go further down, and then for the mobile itself, like, using the Chrome dev tools, and then kind of really also to flip it, that kind of thing, and doing individually for it. Really, I think it did took much more time. I think I should really first go for I would have gone for further, just first desktop, then tablet, then mobile itself, and then kind of really also have adjusted it to the horizontal layout itself. So this was it, guys. It was a really challenging event itself, and yeah. Oh, sorry, I just forgot also to tell about the React itself, right? Okay, what actually happened with the React itself, like, the React was something which I was really importing all my HTML code into React. Everything worked really well, flawlessly. But one issue that I really arose with using SVG. The problem with SVG was like, there was SVG really uses the conventional HTML styles and symbols itself. So I was really confused about, there was one markup tag which using the style tag. I was really confused about which it should be. So after spending half an hour, which it shouldn't require, I think at that time I was really not aware of what really happened, what actually it was supposed to be. But I really figured out, that particular element tag which belonged to certain this one, and then I really used official style tag of React.JS. The second issue that really arose, which really ate my head a lot, was using the video tags. Like, in normal HTML, very really use just a video, and really we really identified source by using source is equal to quotation mark and slash itself, something like that, in whatever you are watching. Yeah, in slash view itself, and then really significant itself. But when I tried into React.js, it was really looking everything blank, like what the hell is going on. So I really watched some of the video. Nothing, there was nothing else on Stack Overflow. It was really like, this method should work. I tried out others then, but and it really didn't work. But one moment that clicked my head was when I was watching a video on embedding SVG in React itself, there was one line like import logo from logo.svg, and that image source was really written in curly brackets of logo itself. So if you have really worked with React itself, you know what I really mean and what I want to say. And then it immediately clicked in my mind that yes, instead of using video source is equal to, we should really use video source is equal to curly bracket in between middle itself. I'll post the screenshot in front of you right now. It will give you a better reflex about what's the current scenario is. And luckily, after really spending a lot of time, considering the first 6 hours of this time lapse video plus later than 4 or 5 hours in making something in to make something work in React itself, it was fun and challenging itself. And I'm also really excited to do in much more else for the, especially out in to multi-step UI form and working with the Google Map APIs, and to really to bring it along with the joy and fun itself. So this was it, guys. It did took me a lot of time to make it happen, but I think it should be it could have been really reduced and minimized the time frame, but we'll really work on like it was also my first time that I've really worked with media query. So I really make sure to really just kind of elaborate some few of the other steps to condense the time and to really maximize the efficiency. And this was it, guys. I really want to tell what was my experience about making a home page and about section in college Facemash. So stay subscribed to this channel. We are really going to show up more content. So if you have any question, queries, comments, please mention down below. I really see that many of the people have really watched my content but don't really share anything. I think if you have any doubts, any question, please let me know. I'm really happy to get back to you. So till then, stay connected, stay happy. Follow me on social media as well, because I really post stories on my future videos as well, so you can get a prior notification on which videos are going to come next. So till then, stay connected and have a nice day.